This video is about decimal arithmetic, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. We're going to start with adding and subtracting decimals, and the key to that is that when you go to set up your problem, you have to line up the decimal places, or the place values, in your numbers. So for example, here if we have 2.4 plus 13.56, I would put the 13.56 on top, just because it has more digits. But when I put the 2.4 below, I want to make sure that I line up that decimal point just like that. Also, the decimal point now comes down the answer right there as well. So now we're adding the place values, so we have 6 plus 0 here, which you can enter that 0 or not, and you get 6, 5 and 4 is 9, 3 and 2 is 5, and another 1 plus 0, which is just 1. So we get 15.96. Subtracting decimals is very similar. Notice I've already lined up the decimal places, which has lined up our place values. Right now, we need to enter our 0 here because we need 0 minus 1 to occur in this column. So I'm going to enter a 0, and then we're going to have to borrow from the 6 to make it 5, and pass that 1 down. So now we have 10 minus 1 is 9, 5 minus 2, which is 3, 7 minus 4, which is 3. Our decimal place just comes down where it is in our answer. 5 minus 5 is 0, and 1 minus 0 is 1. And that's our result. To multiply decimals, you don't need to line up the decimal points. This example I have here, I've already stacked for our multiplication, and notice I didn't bother lining up the decimal places. Basically, I'm going to pretend like we're multiplying 372 by 41, and at the end, I'll fill in the number of decimal places that we need in our answer. So first, we'll multiply. We have 1 times 2, 1 times 7, 1 times 3. Then 0 is a placeholder. We have 4 times 2, which is 8. 4 times 7, which is 28, carry the 2, and 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2 is 14. Add this all together, we get 2, 15, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5, and 1. And now in our factors, the things we're multiplying, we count up all the decimal places. This one had 1, this one had 2, so altogether there are 3 decimal places. So we need to put our decimal 1, 2, 3 places in. So it'll be 15.252 will be our final answer. For dividing decimals, the first thing is make sure you're careful about the order. We have 0.258 divided by 0.12. That means that 0.12 is our divisor, the number that goes on the outside. We're going to put that into 0.258. The other thing is, whatever your number is on the outside, you have to make sure this is a whole number before you can do long division. So since it's 0.12, we need to move the decimal twice to the right in order to make it a whole number. To balance that out, we have to take our dividend, the number on the inside, and also move the decimal point twice to the right. So what we're really going to divide is 12 into 25.8. So here we are, we're set up for the long division. I'm going to go ahead and put my decimal point right up here in the answer, right above where it goes in the dividend. And now 12 into 25 will go 2 times, which is 24. Subtract, bring down the 8. 12 into 18 will go 1 time. Here, since we still have a remainder, we're going to grab another 0 and bring it down. Remember, for a decimal, there's as many zeros as you want to the right of that decimal point. And then 12 will go into 65 times exactly. So we got 2.15 as our result.